What up, peeps? Mr.Bones back at you, and it is day 3 of 31 days of Hallowicked. And what we're going to talk about is a 2018 movie from Uncorked Entertainment called Black Pumpkin. This is set on Halloween, and there's a backstory about a kid that goes missing in the woods named Bobby, who is now an evil spirit in the woods of Diablo's Den, known as Bloody Bobby. The movie starts with someone pranking a retired sheriff's front door, and he keeps checking it, no one's there, and eventually one of the times an ice pick, or like a meat thermometer, goes right through the eye socket of the right through the eye thing of the door into the guy's eye socket. Then it goes forward, the movie starts, says 10 years later, and you meet these boys, Lawrence and Elliot, two young boys, they're like 10, 11 years old, and they like to make home movies and film stuff, and they're working on this thing for school called, it's a documentary thing on these woods called Diablo's Den. It's supposed to be haunted by the spirit of Bloody Bobby. And Lawrence, also known as Pork Chop, is a chubby little boy, red-headed boy, similar to the little boy in Trick or Treat, is up there filming stuff and gets attacked, I guess you call it, harassed by these older boys that are pretty much like young adults that like to pick on children. The Barker brothers, they look like they're almost of age, and they drive, and they have a van called the Stabbin' Wagon, and they're chasing him down the hill. He's on his bicycle, and he makes it as far as his friend's house, and they follow him into the front yard, and on over top of him, probably about to beat him up, picking on him, and his friend's sister comes out and stops him and screaming at him, and she runs him off, and then he goes in and meets up with his friend Elliot, and they're working on the project. And basically, when Lawrence was up there, he awoken the spirit of Bloody Bobby. And this movie has it's got a very cool little killer, small like Sam, reminds me a lot of Sam. This movie borrows a lot heavily from like Trick or Treat and Halloween. There is one scene where his little sister Reagan is trying to scare the oldest sister, Lori, and it's like when it's first coming on, well, after it says 10 years later, and she's you don't know if it's a he or she or what it is. You're seeing the point of view behind a mask, like in Halloween. She creeps up on Lori while she's in bed and tries to scare her. And she takes the mask off, and she has a Jason Voorhees mask, which is cool, a hockey mask. So like the whole family likes horror and scary stuff like that. And yeah, when Lawrence was up in the woods, he awoken the spirit of Bloody Bobby, and Bloody Bobby is cool looking, reminds me of Sam. Is in like an old school 80s type Halloween outfit, like the kind you used to get back in the days, where it's just like a little plastic mask and like a smock with whatever, but it's like a baggy top and pants, but it has like a really cool mask that reminds me of a cool scarecrow type mask with these razor sharp teeth. And the mask that he wears kind of reminds me of that, are similar to the monsters in Feast. And he has this cool little animated like animatronic type ghostly voice. Don't forget to check your treats and all that shit. Anyway, he attacks and tortures all the people all through the movie, starts killing them all slowly one by one. There's a group of high school kids along with the Barker brothers and a few of Lori's friends went up to the woods, Diablo's Den, and they start getting picked off, and he's chasing the kids and the sister throughout their house, and that's about it. I can't tell you who survives or what all happens, but I will tell you there's a scene at the very end when you think the movie's pretty much over where something happens to someone that reminds me of Trick or Treat and a scene from Night of the Demons. This was a pleasant little surprise for being, a well-known low-budget company like Uncorked. I think I found a gem released by them. Also, another one they did I liked is Redwood Massacre. Was a decent slasher flick. And that's what I watched for day 3. Peace.